The general public this time has not given any clear-cut mandate to any of the political forces in the country. Newly formed Rashtra Swatantra Party has emerged as a new political force in the country. The scenario gives the understanding that it is a serious wake-up call for traditional old forces who need to rectify their courses, focus on delivery and people-centric politics. Good morning, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Procedural hassles erupt in the management of the landless squatters. Government bodies engaged in jurisdiction debate. Shortage of investable funds in the banking and financial institutions takes its toll on the construction sector. The constraint is described as the largest in the past 19 years. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim unveils his ministerial cabinet, appoints 2 deputy prime ministers, oath of office and secrecy to be held later today. And South Korea through to the round of 16 with a last gasp goal over Portugal. Cameroon bow out despite a win against second-string Brazil. Switzerland also progress. Vote counting for the House of Representative and Provincial Assembly election is underway in Dolakha, Siangja and Bajura. In Dolakha, Maoist centers Ganga Karki is leading with 9,610 votes, followed by CPN-UML's Balkrishna Siwakoti, who has 8,548 votes so far. In case of Siangja constituency 2, Dhanaraj Gurung of Nepali Congress has maintained a lead with 22,480 votes. CPN-UML's Padma Adyal is trailing behind with 20,267 votes. Vote counting in Bajura that had been briefly halted yesterday has also resumed. Based on the latest update, Badri Prasad Pandey of Nepali Congress is leading with 12,705 votes against CPN-UML's Karna Bahadur Thapa, who has 10,059 votes so far. "22 ministers, 6 of the federal government and 16 of the provinces were defeated in the November 20 elections. However, they did not resign on grounds of ethical responsibility. Despite the public rejection, the ministers who had lost the election are still relishing government benefits. Of the 19 federal ministers, including Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuwa, 14 had contested the November 20th elections. Among them, 6 suffered crashing defeats. However, despite the loss, they are yet to submit their resignations on moral grounds. Instead, they have been making rounds of Singhadarbar and formulating policy-level decisions. In democracy, wins and losses are accepted wholeheartedly, while ethical grounds have a great significance after defeats as well. However, such discipline is rarely seen in Nepali political circle. In addition to 6 federal ministers, 16 provincial ministers also lost in their respective constituencies. They are also yet to file their resignation. At a time when the days of the current government are numbered, analysts say that those who had lost the elections still working in the policy level is a blatant disregard for democracy. The jurisdiction debate among the various government bodies on the management of landless squatters is increasing all the while. At a time when Bagmati Civilization Unified Development Committee, Kathmandu Metropolis and Valley Development Authority have issued notice on their own ordering the landless squatters to evict the occupied banks of the river, National Land Commission has issued its own notice urging authority not to remove the landless squatters. The landless squatters in Kathmandu Valley and other places in the country have been demanding that they be settled on areas they have occupied. However, as per the existing laws, the landless squatters have no such right to such lands, in fact, situated on river banks or places of religious significance. The 8th Amendment of the Land Act 1964 states that landless should be provided land on places they have occupied for considerably long periods of time. However, a law under the same act also bars the landless from occupying land on river banks or areas of religious and historical significance. The landless at the same time maintain that they are ready for resettlement in any place inside the Kathmandu Valley with a guarantee to employment, education and health access. There is a general call on the local bodies to coordinate with the Land Commission to relocate the squatters and evict the river banks they have occupied at the earliest. Shortage of investable funds in the banking and financial institutions has begun creating an impact on the construction sector. Low capital expenditure and complications in availability of loans in the past year and a half have contracted the construction market. According to the construction industry, this constraint is the largest in the past 19 years. In previous years, workers used to be busy making bricks in the brick kilns of Duakot, Bhaktapur from mid-October. However, there are no signs of operation of brick factories even after December this year. As 35% of the bricks produced last year are still in stock, the factories have not produced new bricks. They are not confident about increasing demands of bricks anytime soon, as the real estate market is currently down. However, some factories are producing bricks in low quantity to keep their machineries in check. The brick factories have been providing seasonal employment to workers without skills. Meanwhile, the cement factories are also operating at capacity less than 50%. With the capacity of producing 17.5 million tons of cement annually, the output of these factories have reduced by up to 70%. The construction sector will only gain some pace if the government increases its capital expenditure. However, not even 8% of the capital expenditure has been spent in the 5 months of the ongoing fiscal. Around 1.8 million workers directly depend on the construction sector. Seasonal employment is likely to get reduced further if construction works are further delayed. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on the hesitancy on behalf of Nepal Oil Corporation to slash the prices of petroleum products? Your options are A, injustice on consumers, B, hapless government, and C, ploy to reduce debt. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Let's move on to international update. Prime Minister of Malaysia Anwar Ibrahim has unveiled his ministerial cabinet, saying that he would also retake the role of finance minister he had served 30 years ago. The newly elected Prime Minister's cabinet lineup includes heads of various political blocs who form a coalition government. Ahmed Zahid Hamidi takes the role of Deputy Prime Minister and Rural and Regional Development Minister, while the other Deputy Prime Minister, Fadilar Yusuf, serves as Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister. The new Deputy Prime Minister Hamidi is unpopular as he faces 47 different charges of corruption, money laundering and criminal breach of trust. The new cabinet includes 25 ministerial-level cabinet members. The ministerial cabinet will swear in at 3 p.m. Malaysian local time later today. Kremlin has said Russian President Vladimir Putin is open to talks on a possible settlement in Ukraine, but the refusal of the United States to recognize annexed territories as Russian was hindering a search for any potential compromise. Ukraine and the West say Putin has no justification for what they call an imperial-style war of occupation. Ukraine says it will fight until the last Russian soldier is ejected from its territory. Russia has claimed around a fifth of Ukraine's post-Soviet territory. Annexations the West and Ukraine say they will never accept. Press Secretary for Putin Dmitry Peskov said that the refusal of the United States to recognize the new territories as Russian was hindering a search for any potential compromise. In another development, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has called on Russian President Vladimir Putin, the first such meeting between Russia and Germany since September this year. Emerging out of the meeting, the German Chancellor said that Russia was positive on a solution for the war in Ukraine. Now, Nepal managed a lucky escape in their World Cricket League 2 match against Namibia as the match was washed out after the completion of the first innings. Nepal were bowled out for 197 runs against host Namibia after they were sent into bat first. In the match at the Windhoeks United Cricket Ground, Gyanendra Molotov scored for Nepal with 75 runs as none of other Nepali batters was able to produce a good score. Arif Sheikh was the second top run getter with 23 runs, while his brother Asif Sheikh contributed 20 runs, opening the Nepali innings. The other opener, Arjun Saud, scored 18 runs. Tangeni Lungameni was the most successful bowler for Namibia with 3 wickets. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.